Hi everyone and welcome to the Learning Ladder, and I'm super excited because this is perhaps one of my favourite videos to make of the year. Well, first of my favourites because there's two parts, but it's what we're thinking about using for curriculum for next year. So last year I did it slightly differently in terms of how I post curriculum. In the years past I just made a big haul and showed you everything, but last year I actually sat down and sort of discussed my thought process, what I was thinking for each subject prior to purchasing, and then I made a second video once I'd made all my final choices to show you what we bought as a curriculum haul. I want to do that again because I thought that was actually really interesting and fun to see sort of at the thought process stage where you end up going from there. So what I do is I use my notebook. So this is the one. This one's currently available on Amazon if you like it. So I'm using this one this year, and what I do is I write each subject, and then I make a list for each subject of the things that I'm thinking about. I also put the price of them down, and then I also tick if I've already purchased them. So what I'll do is go through. So we're going to talk about language arts, maths, science, history, geography, French, art, IT, and then what I class as my extras. So we've got baking, music, life skills, morning cart, extras, and then Friday, because Friday is different. We do curriculum Monday to Thursday, and then Friday I do unit study. So let's get started. I'm excited. Okay, so for language arts, I have been thinking of going two different routes. So the first route would be an all-in-one curriculum, and then the second route would be where I piece it all together. I like doing both options, so you know, I'd be happy whichever way I decide to go, but I'm still debating and going through, you know, all the different curriculums and seeing which I think I prefer and which I think would be the best option. So in terms of what I'm thinking though, so I'm thinking The Good and the Beautiful level 5, that's all in one, and I'm also thinking Learning Language Arts through Literature grade 5, so again all in one. So those are the two contenders, I guess you could say, if I was going to do an all-in-one curriculum. And then if I'm going to piece it together, I will be doing, which is kind of easier because there aren't as many options in terms of what I like. So it's kind of easy if I do the piece it together option, whereas if I do the complete, I'm quite torn still between those two. But for piecing it together, I'll be doing Fix It Grammar, level 2, the new one, the Town and Country mouse, which I'm super excited about. It looks really fun, and the grammar cards that go with. I'll be doing IOW, myths, fables and fairy tales. For writing, I would be doing for spelling either of these two options, All About Spelling level 4 or the Spelling UC grade level E, I believe. So All About Spelling is mastery, so you really do need to go through the levels ideally, or if you have an older student, they recommend doing the placement test and then deciding where to put them. I have decided to go for level 4 because I think that that would be a good option, a good point for us. We've done 1, 2 and 3, so it kind of made sense. I don't really want to skip around too much with All About Spelling because it is mastery, it does grow and grow, so it makes sense to just do the next unit from where we left off. For All About Spelling, not for All About Spelling, for Spelling UC, I picked E because I thought that would be a good point for us to go with, and also I really liked the theme. So it's called American Spirit, but it's all about different people and different times in history, and you know, what they did and what they created and what life was like, and it sounds really interesting. So I think that would be, isn't it, the fact that it's American Spirit doesn't mean that we can't do it because we don't live in America. I think it would work absolutely fine, and they are really interesting things in there. And I like spelling. All About Spelling is teacher led, and Spelling UC is student, more independent. So again, I'm not sure which way I want to go. I'm debating, but we've used both of them with success, so either one would be fine. I'd be happy with either one. I've just got to decide which one I do. Then for vocabulary, the Fix It Grammar has vocabulary in it, so do the all-in-one programs, They're Going to Be Beautiful and Learning Language Arts through Literature. But I do have my vocabulary book. It's called All the Words. Currently on Amazon. I'll be doing a flip through of that this week. Hopefully it will arrive in the post. I'll be able to do that. And basically it's a book that you can use for any subject. The child can write what the word is, they can define it, they can use it in a sentence, draw it, all different like little fun activities with the word that they're using that week. So I'll be doing that book, and I'll be pairing it up with Mrs. Wordsmith, which we're using this year. It's in our morning cart, and it is, what's it called? It's called The Storyteller's Word a Day, but it's volume 2, so it's new, that's come out. So we're using that with my vocabulary book, all the words, but we can also use any book. So for example, if she's reading a book and there's a word in there that's new to her and we think it'd be useful to put it in there for writing purposes or whatever, then she can stick it in there, and we can also use it for other subjects too. So it's not just to be used with this, but I guess this is kind of the spine which I'll be using my all the words book with. Because it's blank templates that you can use with any kind of vocabulary. I've also purchased Born Book, which is I think it's called, I'm not sure what it's actually called, but it's basically, it's different words and how you can use them in writing. So it's like a little, you know, they have those little guides that they have for different topics every year. So they've got the poetry one, they've got writing stories one, but it's the new one, so it's about words. So we're going to use that. I just got it yesterday. This one, I just grabbed it because I couldn't for the life of me remember what it was called. So it's called Write Your Own Story Word Book. So I definitely want to use that this year. It looks really fun. So there's lots of different activities with lots of words that you can use for different categories. So that one's if you're writing about clothes, first impression. So it looks really good. So I like that. So that's sort of the vocabulary area. Then we have my collection of storybooks, which again is on Amazon, and I'll be showing that in a video hopefully this week too. And that's basically lots of different templates where they can write fiction and non-fiction books with different pages in there, glossaries and all kinds of stuff. So I'll show you that anyway. And basically it's once they've done at the end of the year, they'll have this paperback or hardback book that is full of all their stories, which will make them feel like an author, which will be really cool. And it's also a great memory keeper for you too and for them, but you know, in the future you can look back all the little stories that they wrote. So I'm excited about that. So I'll show you that this week. Hopefully it should arrive. So that's called my collection of storybooks. And then the Reading Detective, again, that's another one of my products, which again I'll show you this week, and that's basically for reading comprehension. Lots of different activities. There's writing in there too. Then I'll get her a new comic book, which we do every year. She's on a third this year, so I'll end up getting more than one, but I just buy one at a time. Again, that's one of my products. It's on Amazon, where she can make all her own comic book stories. Fantastic for writing, storytelling, mapping plots and everything else. It's great for drawing too, and dialogue. There's so many different things that you can use those comic book templates for. Don't just think, oh, it's just square boxes, because there's so much richness that you can get out of it, and they don't even know they're learning. They think it's fun. Then for reading comprehension, Harcourt reading grade 5. It's not the Harcourt trophies thing, it's just a little exercise that we've had previously. I think I had the grade 2 one and the grade 3 one. Basically they're little stories, little snippets of stories, non-fiction mostly, some fiction in there too, and then they have questions to answer about them, and it's really brief, it's really short, but it's great if you ever have to think about maybe any kind of testing in the future, standardized testing or anything like that. So I thought we would definitely do that again this year, in case, you know, we ever have to do anything like that. Who knows with the state of the legislation over here, so I want to make sure that she would be prepared in case we ever have to do that in the future. And then and also it's fun, and it's reading comprehension, and it's, you know, there's nothing bad about it, it's fine, it's enjoyable. And then we have got for writing, actually handwriting, the two options I'm considering are Handwriting Without Tears, and it's Building Writers. It's like a bundle that you can get. It's the next one, I think it's called I Can Do Cursive. I think that's the one. It's the grade 5 one anyway, or the Good and the Beautiful Handwriting. So again, I can go either way, I'm still debating. Then that's mostly everything for language arts. So you've got your two options. So you've got the complete or the piecing together. And then there is another writing project. We always do a main writing project aside from any kind of writing curriculum that we do. But it's cross-curricular with IT this year. So I'm not going to talk about it now, I'll talk about it when I talk about IT. But it's also something that I'd like to ask if anyone here would like to collaborate with us on. So it's not to do with YouTube, as in a YouTube channel, it's specifically about homeschooling and children. I mentioned I think it was just before Christmas, that I was wanting to do something like a community or something like that, where we could collaborate, our children could collaborate and, you know, do a homeschool activity together. And I thought of what I think is a great idea. So I'll tell you about that when we get to IT, but basically when we talk about it, also remember it's part of language arts too. Okay, so that's everything for language arts. For maths, it's pretty simple because I already have the curriculum. It's over there on the shelf. We were doing Saxon Math 6-5 this year. We also will continue with musical multiplication, and we will do math copywork, and basically that's where I'll have the copy facts. So it could be multiplication facts, division facts, just a little exercise every day. And you know, it's quick, she likes it. There's no, you know, I just use one of those graph paper or squared notebooks for her to do that in. And it's, you know, it's just practice. And we have like lots of math games and stuff on our cart that we can add in, or she can pick that she'd like to do after we've done our maths lesson if she wants to do a little bit extra. And then I also schedule in my planning a little activity, so it could be that we do a dice game, or it could be that we do one of the multiplication or division wrap-ups one of the days, or a flashcard game, or, you know, just a little extra fun thing as part of our maths. So that's everything for maths. Quite easy, really. It's pretty much, well, I don't need to buy anything because I've already purchased my curriculum, so I've already got that. For science this year, so for science, we did Dining on Science this year, which is my program that I made, and we loved it so much. This year I'm going to go back to a curriculum. And I was torn between doing a curriculum and doing unit studies, and I couldn't decide, and it suddenly dawned on me, I don't have to decide, I can actually make them work. So the curriculum that we were going to do, or we are going to do, is usually, well, in the past how we've used it, a 5-day curriculum, so you do a little bit every day. However, as part of the schedule, they do have a 2-day option, and I've never done that. I've always done the 5-day option, but it suddenly dawned on me, if I do the 2-day option, then I can still do a unit study too, because 2 days of that curriculum for science, and then I've still got 2 more days where we can do a unit study approach. So it's the best of both worlds. So for our curriculum, for our science, we are going to do elemental science, and we're going to do the physics unit. That's their new, they've just released it, their new version, 3rd edition of their physics. It's from ages 9 to 11. It's still classed as the grammar stage, but she's put in there that it's for ages 9 to 11, grades 3 through 5th. So I think that'll be perfect for us. So I'm going to do elemental science physics for 2 days. And then for the other 2 days of the week, we are going to do unit studies, and I'm definitely going to pick, again, there's no question about this one, the Good and the Beautiful science unit, and I'm so excited. So the ones I have on our list, we've got birds, we've got reptiles and amphibians, so we've got ecosystems, botany, and then I am deciding between energy, but I don't know if I need to do that because we're doing the elemental science physics. What I'm going to do is wait till the new one comes out, because they're releasing it again, I think, as a new edition, because it's so cheap. So that usually means that they're discontinuing it, and then they're going to bring a new one out. So I'm going to have a look at the new one and see if I think it would be a good fit, because it could really complement the physics and present it in a different way. So I'm not opposed to doing it. And then the other one would be the chemistry. So those are the ones I'm thinking: birds, reptiles and amphibians, ecosystems, energy, chemistry and botany. If for whatever reason I think we don't need to do the energy, I would probably pick kingdom and classifications. But again, I'll let you know once I do the curriculum haul. But that's where my sort of thinking process is for science, and I'm really excited. I think that's going to work out really nicely. Gives us the best of both worlds. We've got our curriculum and we've got our unit study approach. History is really simple. We are doing Journey Through Time, but we're doing Journal Through Time. So luckily for me, because I made it, I've got the 2. So I've got Journey Through Time, which includes all the videos and the websites, and then I've got Journal Through Time, which is the physical book with all the book recommendations and all the actual printables that you can do. So I'm really excited to continue. So we'll be going through, this year we've done we will have done by the end of the year, Stone, Bronze and Iron Age, Ancient Egypt, Ancient Greece and Ancient Rome, and then we'll be picking up continuing on, so we're going from the Vikings all the way through World War II. So it's going to be really exciting. So I really enjoy Journal Through Time. She does too. It's great. Such a fun curriculum. Then we're going to do geography, and we alternate history and geography. We don't do them on the same day. For geography, I am 90% sure I'm going to stick with primary geography. So we'll go up to the next book, which is book 5, which is Change. I still haven't decided if I want to get Skill Sharpener Geography from Evermore as well. I haven't looked through the topics on that yet. I will do though, and see if there are anything that would really complement primary geography. If it's completely different, then I'm just going to stick with primary geography. But if there's any reason to get the Skill Sharpener, I will. I like it because it has hands-on activities in it. But if the topics are completely different to primary, then it kind of doesn't really make sense to get both. So we'll see. I'll let you know in my curriculum haul. And then for the other thing for our geography day, so we do sort of a curriculum day, and then we do a more fun unit study type style of geography. I have bought the first of a series which they release every quarter. It's like a journey through different parts. They get passport, different parts of the world, that they go through different continents, and it's really fun. It looks so good. It's beautifully presented. It's all watercolors. It's so pretty. For the first edition, it was from some of the countries that did Canada, that did the UK, Asia, different places, and then the next time they'll pick different ones. And they've collaborated with lots of different homeschool curriculum companies. So part of the first one, you got the letters from the wild for several of the animals which were included as part of the geography, which looks amazing. I love letters from the wild. So for example, for Africa, you got the elephant letter as part of the curriculum bundle, and there was all kinds of things. There was ecosystems, all art projects, and so many different things in that. But I really liked the first bundle, so when they released the second bundle, I think they said it was every quarter, I'm definitely going to get that too. So I'll show you that all in my curriculum haul. So that's geography sorted. Don't need to think about that. It's already, apart from deciding between primary and skills. For French, I'm still looking. Let me know. I mentioned it in my homeschool update if you've got a good French curriculum that you love. I'm currently looking at requested samples of a Charlotte Mason version, so I'm going to wait for those samples. And I've also looked at a few different online French options. So one of them was Dinolingo, which looks really fun. We're going to actually trial that this week to see how we like it. Because I like the fact that it's game orientated, but there's also actual French speaking in there too, so native speakers as part of their little video presentations and things. So I think she would really enjoy that, learning it with all those elements to it. So I might go with that. But I do have Harcourt, no, it wasn't Harcourt, I can't remember what it was called, but a curriculum that we used last year, which will span several grades, so we can always go back to that as well from where we left off and continue with that. When I say last year, I don't mean fourth, I mean third grade. So either way, we'll figure it out. But if you've got a really good curriculum that you know of, definitely let me know, because I don't know what it is about curriculums for languages. I think it's really hard to find something really good. But if you know, definitely let me know, and I'll update you when I do my curriculum haul of what we ended up going with. So for art, I have a few different options that I want to do. So we've done in the past sort of all your basics of how to, look up form and all kinds of lines and all those types of scenarios. This year I want to actually focus on two skills. So I want to focus on sketch art, and I want to focus on watercolors. So I've got a few books in my basket that I'm considering for those. Again, I'll show you what I decide to go with in my curriculum video, but that's where I'm going in terms of skills. So we're looking at sketch and watercolor, and then I still have different art books. So for example, I've got the Evermore How to Teach Art to Kids that we can refer back to as part of this too. But then also some of art will go into our IT cross-curricular year project that it also is cross-curricular language arts, which I'll talk about in a minute. So bear that in mind, that's not just the things for art. For IT, which we're going to be talking about now, which is funny because I didn't realise that was next on the list. Okay, so for IT, we're going to be doing two things. So I'm going to continue doing the Microsoft packages. I'm actually going to upgrade my Microsoft Office. I currently have 2013, so I'm going to upgrade. I think I'm going to go with 2019 this year. I don't see the point of going from 13 to 16. I think I might as well just go to 19. But there is a new one, I think, coming out this year. But I think 19 will be absolutely fine. I don't think I really need to get the latest edition. But by doing that, it'll enable me to use a curriculum that I found for IT where it goes through all the different packages with little projects and things. So that's what we'll be doing. So we're going through Office 19 with this book that I found where it's got lots of different projects for IT. So that's part of what we'll be doing. But then the other part of what we'll be doing, which is my fun, exciting project for this year, and that is we're going to be making a homeschool newspaper. So it's going to be cross-curricular with language arts, obviously, but it's all going to be digital. So we're going to do all kinds of different articles, so she can do editorials, she can do opinion pieces, you know, just make our own actual newspaper, little comic book strips in there. She can interview people. There's so many different skills that she can get out of it. I'm really, really excited for us to do that this year. So we'll be doing it, as I said, as part of our language arts, and we'll be updating our edition more regularly. But what I was wanting to know if anyone wanted to join us, and I was thinking once a term, so every 12 weeks, if you wanted to join us and partake in our little newspaper. So what you could do is you could produce a piece with your kids and submit it to the newspaper, and then I can put it all together and then send you out the copy of it, of the full completed newspaper, with kids from hopefully all over the world taking part, doing their own piece. So then every 12 weeks I can compile the newspaper and then send it all out to you all, the people who took part. So all your kids will get a newspaper every 12 weeks with, you know, other children that have collaborated and taken part in it. And we can go as much, we can go as in depth as you want with it. So, you know, we could just do it where you submit your piece, or if we wanted to do it where we met up as a group, you know, with our kids via Zoom or some kind of app, we could do that. So let me know if you're interested, and then obviously how in depth you wanted to go with it. But I think it would be so fun. It'd be so great to see children from all over the world taking part and producing their own little newspaper. I thought every 12 weeks would be about right. If you think that we should do it a bit more frequently than that, let me know. But I just thought that, you know, that would give us time. Obviously, you know, everyone's busy, they've all got their own curriculums to do, they've all got their own places to go and their groups and everything else. So I thought once every 12 weeks would be about right. But I'm completely open to discussion and, you know, deciding how we want to proceed with it. But I just thought it'd be an amazing experience, and all our children could collaborate together and produce their own newspaper so at the end of the year they would have 3 copies of a newspaper that they'd taken part in, so their piece will be in there along with other children's work too. I just thought it'd be so good. So definitely let me know, either leave me a comment or email me if you're interested in taking part. I know not everyone likes to comment on videos, so if you want to email me and we can talk privately, that's absolutely fine, and let me know if you would like your children to take part in our little newspaper. So that's everything for IT. So moving along to what I call our extras. So we've got baking, music, life skills, extras, morning cart, and Friday. So for baking, what I'm thinking of doing is using the Baking Around the World from Usborne. I thought that will go really nicely with our geography journal series that goes all around the world. So we'll use that. But then what I'm also going to do is make her own recipe book, and it's recipes that I use. She likes to eat and she can learn how to make them. Things that I think are essential to life, so like how to poach an egg, how to cook a chicken, and we can do those things in homeschool together, but it'll be like my recipe book rather than buying a recipe book of other people's where, you know, it might be absolutely fine, but it's not things that are necessarily stuff that we would make all the time. But this will be really useful to her because it'll give her skills for life. So when she's married and everything else, she'll know how to make sourdough, she'll know how to make bread, she'll know how to poach an egg, she'll know how to make a roast dinner from beginning to end. So I'm going to compile her a little recipe book, and it'll be our recipes that we've used in our family, you know, how to make different sauces, and, you know, all the things that you want to know when you're a mum yourself, or when you're a single woman wanting to make dinner, you know, all those things that you want to know as an adult how to cook. I thought that'd be so fun, and because it'll be our recipes, I just think that makes it more special. So that's what we're going to be doing for baking too. So my recipe collection, and then I do have some other books that we can look at, you know, talk about nutrition and things like that, and how food grows and all those types of things. So that's what I'm thinking of for baking. So for music this year, I am thinking of using Easy Peasy online for music. So they do composers, they do sort of instruments overall, an overview of different instruments that are in different pieces, and it looks really fun. So I'm thinking of doing Easy Peasy music, and then she'll continue practicing her keyboard and recorder. So those will be her 2 instruments that she'll continue to build on this year. For life skills, I'm so excited. I'm finally using the sewing curriculum. So I think it was in 3rd grade I actually got that sewing curriculum, but then, you know, the whole world went to, you know, as it did, and I didn't want to do the sewing program when we couldn't get a sewing machine, or we couldn't choose what we wanted, or we couldn't go and buy fabric, and you know, all the fun exciting things that when you're making something you want to go and choose your fabric and everything else, and all the shops are closed. And so I just put it to one side and I thought, you know, I'm just going to wait till this nightmare is over and then we'll do the sewing curriculum. So this is the time. I've already bought the sewing machine, which is so exciting. So we'll be doing the sewing curriculum that I actually had 2 years ago, which we can finally use as part of our life skills. So she'll learn how to use the sewing machine, make different projects, and we can shop fabric and do all the fun stuff. And then I also have a thinking tree journal for gardening. So those are our 2 life skills that we're going to do this year. We are growing our own garden again this year, and you know, it needs to be maintained throughout the year. So I thought that that would be really fun for us to do for our life skills. For our morning cart, I'll switch out my books that I use on a daily basis, and then obviously put in other books. I've already put in my basket what I want as sort of our staples, and I'll show you those once I've got them. Probably that'll be after my curriculum haul video, like it was last year, of what I'm putting in the morning cart. And then I always buy some fun extras, and I've got a list of things that I'm thinking of. I'm not going to bore you with telling you that right now, but I'll show you those in my curriculum video with what I actually end up picking. And then finally, for Friday, unit study day, I have decided this year to go with 5 in a row, which I'm so excited for. So we're going to do 5 in a row this year. So I'm going to do sort of my own take on it, my own version of it, because obviously we're not going to be doing it every day. But I'm going to pick our favourite books from that particular volume, and then we'll do different cross-curricular activities. So she gives you a huge list of different things that you can do. So there's science in there, there's language arts, there's all kinds of things, and we'll just tailor it around our interests and fun things that we're learning about in other subjects that we can expand on and learn through literature. So that's my plans. I think I've got everything. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking of for this year. Let me know what you're thinking of. I'd love to hear it in the comments below. If you're using any of the curriculums that I've mentioned, or you've used them, definitely let me know. I'd love to hear how they went for you. So if in the 5th grade. And then also, if you're interested in taking part in our newspaper, our little community YouTube channel, your newspaper, then definitely let me know. The newspaper will only go out to those people who are taking part, so don't worry, I'm not going to be sending your kids' work to some stranger. It will only go out to those people who are taking part in the project. And I think it would be great if we could meet on a Zoom or something, so all the kids can get to see each other and you know, and see who's taking part in the newspaper. But as I said, if you want to just do it where your kid submits a piece and then you get the newspaper, that's absolutely fine. It's as much, you can get involved as much as you want, basically. But let me know if you're interested in that too. So I'll see you in our next video. Take care and bye for now.